Hey YouTube, this is Donald, and today I'm gonna play for the first time an Atari 7800 game called Centipede on the Atari 7800. Now, this version is identical to the arcade, and this might be a version worth owning because of the fact that it can be used with any controllers, and it's a superior port. Doesn't matter how many physical buttons are on the 7800 joystick or gamepad, both buttons do the same thing. So instead I'm going to use this trackball that I reviewed. I would talk about the trackball, but so if you want to hear more about this trackball that I'm using right here, go back to my previous video about it, because in this video we're only going to discuss about the game to see what it's like. So let's pop this game in and give it a go. Now, you can play standard, novice, advanced, or expert. You move left and right to select your difficulty, and move up and down to select whatever type of players that you can play as. Now, I don't know why it's changing colors, like flickering like that. You could play team play. You could either play team play, dual player competition, 2-player alternating, or just play 1 player, which I'm gonna do. Let me turn. And this game is pausable. Hold on, let me turn up the volume. Oops. Okay, there we go. Now you guys can hear it. Sorry about that. I just wanted you guys to hear the game while I talk. Now, this game is really a far superior port to Centipede from the arcade, and it looks exactly like the arcade, even though the colors keep flickering like that. I don't know if it's because of the cartridge, or because of the system that I'm using, or because of how the system's hooked up. This game plays exactly like the arcade version. And if you like Centipede, then this might be a version worth owning, by the way. If all you have is an Atari 7800, then this game, yeah, definitely pick this game up. They're easy to come by. There's the mushrooms that look like mushrooms. The centipede looks like a centipede instead of like a caterpillar from the 2600 version. I don't have the 2600 version of Centipede, but I do have the 7800 version, which is the only version I have, sadly. And if you gain enough points, you'll get an extra life, just like in the arcade. Now, you get this extra bit of precision in this game with the trackball. With the gamepad, though, it plays differently with a gamepad or a joystick controller. Though my cursor is moving kind of slow with the trackball. Well, you know, the colors stop flickering. Oh! Got hit by a centipede. Looks like I got an extra life. This game is on the 2600, 5200, ColecoVision, and the Atari home computers, and even the Atari 7800 has a version, which is the version I'm playing right now. because I showed you the cartridge. But as you can see on the cartridge, unfortunately the cartridge doesn't have full color artwork. It just has black text with black and white images. They were cost cutting when the 7800 came out. Now this game has a copyright date has a 1984 copyright, but was officially released in 1986. But this game originally had a copyright date of the 1980s. I played the arcade version on my phone, but that's another story entirely. And as you can see, that's my high score up there. And the pause button, and the good thing about the 7800 is that when you play Centipede, the pause button is on the console and not on the controller, which is good, so that way you can use a trackball anyway. Though the Sega Master System does have a trackball, but sadly not the NES. The Famicom had one, but it never saw the light of day in the US or Europe. And it's a shame, because it really is an awesome controller, where you get that precision and millipede. I may review Millipede, its sequel to Centipede, if I ever get my hands on a trackball that will work with the NES. And there's no adapters that you can use to make this thing work on the NES, unfortunately, sadly. Or even an adapter to make the Famicom version work on the NES. So it's region locked because of the ports being different. And you shoot the spider for bonus points. Oh! Well, looks like I gave myself a leap of faith. Looks like I made myself take a leap of faith with that one. Looks like I've beaten my old score. Now this game doesn't really save data or save your high score. It only keeps high score, which really helps since there is no way to save data. Because Atari games don't usually have a battery backup cartridge. It only keeps track of your high score, which really helps since they don't really save data. Only homebrew Atari games work by saving data, if you have the Atari Vox, of course. But that's another story entirely. No! Well, I lost. But But anyway, yeah, as you can see on the title screen, it has a copyright date of 1984 because of the fact that this system was going to be released in 1984, but due to the video game, because like I said in my previous video, due to the video game crash, this game was never released. After the success of the NES, they decided to release this game in 1986 or 1987. Of course, this game is made by Atari. It is a first-party Atari title. There's like different versions of Centipede, like the one on the Wii or one on the Sega Dreamcast, made by Atari, published under the Atari name though, even though Atari may not be around sadly. But anyway, in conclusion, this game is definitely worth owning, especially when you have an Atari 7800, so that might be a good reason to own an Atari 7800. But I would really recommend playing this game with a trackball like this, made by Wyco, instead of the 2600 Proline trackball. But if getting a trackball is totally out of the question, but I'm sure they're easy to come by. But when it comes to the European gamepad controller of the 7800 controller, those are actually, you might want to hunt down, keep on a lookout for, and they're kind of not expensive. But if playing the game with that gamepad is totally out of the question, you can just get this, like I told you. But anyway, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and like the video, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video. This is me, signing off.